GGRC.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and today we are checking out Swords and Soldiers 2, Shawarmageddon. Now, for those of you who know, this is the sequel, obviously, to Swords and Soldiers. Now, Swords and Soldiers, having a hard time saying it. Swords and Soldiers is a game that's been around for quite a while, actually. I remember playing it years ago on PC. And actually, I remember hearing that they were coming out with a sequel, and believe it or not, it came out last week. And here we are checking it out. So, what this is basically a 2D RTS, if you haven't heard of the series before. So, this game basically continues everything from the first game, but just makes everything better. Like, it literally is a sequel, the sequel that you are waiting for. I like this, that they actually add in an attract mode as well if you want to check out the game while you're waiting. We're going to jump right into the campaign here. I want you guys to know ahead of time, if you're looking for a new RTS that's kind of unique and fun and whatnot, this is definitely a game to check out. However, I have had absolutely no luck finding a game online. Maybe we'll try that during this video towards the end here. But I've tried 2 or 3 different times, waited for probably 10 minutes and was not able to really find a match. So it would seem the online for this, is almost non-existent, which is unfortunate because the game itself is pretty fun. So let's jump into the campaign here. You can see that I'm not super duper far. I would say I'm maybe like a quarter to a third through the story here. And the story is super goofy. Like, Shawarmageddon refers to shawarmas. You know, the Vikings that you play as here, they are obsessed with eating barbecue and shawarmas and that kind of thing. So we're going to skip around here. I'm trying to see which levels would be a good one to show off here. To give you kind of an idea. The interesting thing is that the campaign, like many games, is used as sort of a tutorial sort of to the online. So that's why I'm actually kind of hoping that the online picks up a bit for people because, you go through the campaign, you completely learn the ropes of the game and everything, then you're ready for some online matches, right? But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case here. But let's jump into a level here. Let's see, what do we want to play? Let's start back here. I'm just jumping into this at random here. So the story so far is that you are playing as Redbeard, I believe, and he is chasing after somebody who has stole his lamp. And it's supposed to be maybe a magical lamp. I'm not so sure, but you do have a few different races to actually pick from when you're playing games, which is kind of cool. So at the beginning of every level, you have this guy come in, and he kind of gives you an idea of what's going on in the story. The story is super, it's super silly. You're not going to get like a super fulfilling, serious story from this. This is all for fun. This is like playing a comic book, really.
I'd beat him up myself if it weren't for my... To make matters worse,
and I forget this guy's name. Brokebeard, I think is his name, but as you can tell, he is severely injured. He's in a wheelchair, he's got an axe to the head, but he's still drinking, so he's still happy. But he's pretty goofy. He's jumping around, telling you this story. That's what to expect here. So, each side as they roll in has their different bases here. For some people, they might think of this as an RTS, like almost like Dota, MOBA type of situation, because you do have the option of, some people were asking me in the Discord chat, if it's a 2D RTS game, how does it really work? You're just sending guys at each other, and whoever is more powerful breaks through. But you do actually have pathways that you can send your troops, which is kind of cool. So let's actually jump through the story here. So you see here, they're saying, there's some intruders, and we're actually in this mission trying to save Helga, who ends up being one of our important 3-tier characters that we can summon, who has very powerful abilities that you could use. So at this point, this is where they're introducing the Berserker, who's a melee unit that could take out enemies. So this is the natural setup here. So this is your unit bar down here where you can pick between units. Further into the game, you actually have another button over here where it provides you with upgrades to upgrade those units and to get upgraded buildings and spells and everything. So the main thing you're doing is summoning units, building buildings, and using spells. But all of it's basically on the move at all times. So let's actually create a couple of these guys here, send them out. So they're all going to go up because we have this little guy here, which will actually switch which route they're going to go. So they're going to go up. And they'll take out these enemies here. And because of that, now I can actually send her out to go pick up this box here. Now, the boxes through the campaign, depending on what level you're in, they do provide certain things for you to use during the match. So you may get anywhere from... Here, let's use one of our spells. We can use lightning on that guy, zap him. And now they got to break through this door. But you might get gold, you might get mana. There's a lot of different things you could get. You could even get new abilities and spells, depending on, you know, what context the mission is in. So we're going to break down this door here. Now, of course, I can make some more dudes and send them down this way here to get the other box too. Yeah, we'll continue going up here. So let's send a couple guys down. One of the complaints I do have with this game, though, is that when you summon a unit, they do have different things that they say, which at times can be very funny. But after the, billionth time that you've heard it, it's not so funny anymore. I feel like they needed a little bit more variety in the, in the sound bites for the characters. Here, we'll send these guys down here, too.
I've got the treasure. Heading back now.
So she's got that box there. Let's go ahead and explode one of these guys here. So here we go. We're down to just an axe guy. Whoops. So because we got those two boxes, killed those enemies in this particular mission, they're going to actually move the base up a bit here. In hopes that we can actually find the key in one of these boxes here. Because we cannot get her out of the cage until we get all of these boxes and get the key. So something to keep in mind. This guy's almost dead, so we can use our heal ability on him. Actually, we have somebody running through, so we should probably zap him. And we'll send some guys after him, too. There we go. Alright, so they're going to get to the end here. The base is under attack? Ah, no problem. So she's basically telling you, yep, got to find the key. You can't break through this cage until we get the key. So hopefully it's in this crate. Otherwise, we got to send her down this way and get the other crate with the key inside. So it's actually pretty cool. I like that they've actually gone out of their way to make these context-sensitive missions, there's the key, where you're actually using a lot of the abilities in the normal game to do all these fun story missions. So the campaign for me so far has been a lot of fun. What is interesting, too, is that the first time you actually have a full-fledged fight, where it's you versus another army and it's AI-based and everything, at least for me, I got wiped, because I was not expecting what had happened to me there. They just decimated me. I picked the wrong army, because every time you go in, you actually get to pick an army. We'll get into that in just a second here. Could zap these guys here. Let's send a few more guys out. They are decimating our dudes. But we can... There we go. But yeah, you pick your armies. You get a 3-tier army that you can upgrade. You choose when you want to upgrade them, when you want to use your gold to do so. And...
Treasure hunting time.
What do we got to do here? We just got to... Oh, we got to send her out with the key. Can we cancel that? Yes. There we go. Now she's sending with the key. So you had to cancel her picking up the treasure to get over with the key. But anyway, yeah, you can upgrade those tiers at any point. For those of you who played any kind of RTS in at any point, you'll know that you have a tree of things that you can pick to upgrade, which is pretty cool. And this is just like a really, really streamlined version of that, being 2D and whatnot. So now she's out, and everything is good. So of course, the big bad boss is like, what are you guys doing? But now we can use her. We can use her abilities. And we'll use some lightning here too. Let's heal that guy. There you go. She sings. It actually makes him more powerful. We need to get her closer to everybody, though. And we need more mana to keep this guy alive, because otherwise he's going to go down. There we go. Now we're in the jackpot. Things are looking good. There you go. That's one mission, just to give you a sample. What we're going to jump into now, though, is we're going to pretty much go to where we left off here. We're actually going in to take on Sinbad here. So you can see here, you're actually going to be able to see what units that Sinbad has before you go in. So, like it says here, in open battles, you can create your own army out of what you've unlocked so far. So let's get into it, shall we? So, here's your first tier. This is the majority of what your fights are going to be if you end up playing this game online or against the AI and whatnot. So far what I've been doing is playing with the Berserker, the Axe Thrower. Let's do... Man, the healing spell is super powerful. And the mana building is really powerful too. The things that I'm not using here, though... can I switch out? There we go. You do have another soldier to pick from. This guy is really fast. He's not as hardy. They'll take him out pretty quickly. But he does ranged, and he will heal himself when he's out of combat, which is pretty cool. You have the Master Chef. This guy is vulnerable, but he's a ranged support healer. He's actually really funny because what he does is he throws meat at your units to keep them healed. So, if you played any other really serious fantasy RTS where someone's like using a wand or a spell or whatever to heal somebody, this guy's like meat, which is pretty damn funny. Of course, you have a heal where you can heal any unit on the field. You could polymorph and turn someone into a sheep. The one we're going to end up picking here is the mana rune, because what this does is it lets you build a building to keep generating mana. So we're going to jump to the next tier here. Now these are basically all spells and buildings here. So we always get the guard tower. Guard towers are pretty powerful. You could put an axe thrower in there, and it takes the enemy quite a while to actually break through one of those. Some of these other ones are very powerful, but they're very costly, not just in gold but also in mana. So you got to make sure you're really racking up that mana if you're going to actually use these spells. So you get like this frozen Molnir, I think is how you say it, but actually drops on enemies and becomes an obstacle for the enemies to fight through. So that one's actually pretty powerful. There's a Tiger Leap where if an enemy is by, or if one of your units is by another enemy and you hit it, they run through those enemies and cause a bunch of damage. So I really like the Lightning Bolt. Shield of Reflection is very powerful if you can put that on someone who's getting hit a lot, because he'll just bounce all the attacks back. And the funniest one that I've unlocked so far is Ball of Sheep. It creates a woolly transport that picks up friendly units until it hits an enemy target. So, pretty funny stuff. Let's see. Let's go with the Molnir. And this is where all of your real special stuff comes into play. So these are going to be your most expensive spells and heroes here. You have the Sandwich. Basically everything in this is like it revolves around food, which is pretty funny. But she's an older woman who comes out and she throws out like little ghost guys who like do bidding for her. She herself, I don't think, attacks, and she's not very powerful, but she can keep throwing out these little ghosts. She throws one out maybe, every 20-30 seconds or something like that. Because we only have 4 tier 3s, I'm just going to pick them all. Snowstorm, another very powerful AoE attack. You have Helga, who we saw earlier, and you have Old Larry's Rampage, where if I don't get to use him in this match, you guys will at least see him in the minigame coming up after this. So what he does is he runs across screen and he uppercuts like all the enemies on screen that he can. It's really funny. All right, so we're ready. Let's jump in here. So this is like any other RTS where you are working as fast as you can to build stuff. This one is actually a bit different than what I remember from past missions here. We don't have a gold mine. Usually you have some kind of gold mine. And I guess we'll go up. I don't really know what's happening. Of course, you have your Fog of War during these, so you have no idea what the enemy is doing. And I ended up making an extra donkey because I thought that we were going to have gold to pick up, but it looks like we're only going to get gold when it drops. So throughout matches, you're going to get gold and mystery boxes that drop that will actually help you out. Things are not looking great for us right here, are they? We are getting a little bit of gold here and there, so that is good. I will say it's really weird to see the goblins on the same side as the Vikings, though. I don't think you'll see that in a normal game. Okay, here's a red flag here. Okay, so his base is already right here. They're very, very close by. So we really got to run for dominance here. Whoa, look at this guy. I don't know where he came from, but he's pretty cool. Oh no, grab this gold. We're about to get a third. So because this is the campaign, you know, story missions are going to be a bit different. You know, they're going to add in a bunch of different things that are not going to be in a normal online game. So that is something to keep in mind. Let's see, who else can we get here? We don't have enough gold to really keep upgrading and doing other things, which is unfortunate. Oh, he's got some kind of an AoE spell thing going on, which is pretty cool. Alright, we don't need you to sing way back there. Maybe we'll have her sing and, like, wait for some units here. He's gonna get massacred, it would seem. Okay, we gotta keep these donkeys moving along. Because otherwise we're not gonna have gold enough to do anything. We might actually get massacred on this round here. And that's part of this game, too, is, like, it being an RTS and it being challenging. Sometimes the levels are gonna be a little bit of a hit and miss. It's actually not going to help us right this second, is it? But they're going to be trial and error. So you're going to play through it once, get massacred probably, and then go, oh, this is what my strategy should probably be for this level, you know? That's just how it's going to have to be sometimes. And they're going to take out my donkey without him getting back. And I think they are pretty much going to break through here. They absolutely destroyed me. I don't know what I did wrong there, but I just got massacred. I think I'm just not keeping up on the multitasking as well as I should. And that's always been one of my downfalls with RTS games. Like, I've never been great at multitasking, you know, making sure I'm also getting resources while also creating enough units to fight and that kind of thing. So there you go. That is a defeat. But what we're going to do is we are actually going to head back out here. We're going to go back to, like, a regular match here. I believe this one... Is this one against Redbeard? There's one against Redbeard. Greasebeard. Bashing Blackbeard. Let's try this one. There's one that's like a regular... Just a regular old match. That I can show you how it all works. Assuming it's the one with the skull, but I'm not entirely sure. Yes, Greasebeard. Here we go. So this one's a very easy... match. I mean, this is like the earliest in the game that you could play. I think I did all the same units here. And that's the thing, too, is with some of these matches, you know you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone to really understand how it all works, you know? But when you get more and more powerful units as you unlock them in the campaign, you can go back to unlock things within the match, which we'll show you here in a second here. Alright, so now we want to make this donkey. If you hit pause, you'll see over here that you have an objective. You have a gold medallion you can earn, and then there's 2 more objectives you can actually earn. So you can win without using spells, you'll get one, and then if you complete it within 4 minutes, you'll also get one. So within every match, or mission rather, there are actually 3 medals to get. From what I could tell so far, there are 90 medals to get altogether. So it would seem as though there are about 30 levels or so. Alright, so now we want to start picking our troops here. Of course, these are our normal troops, and we want to start sending them out ASAP once we have enough gold. I usually send out 2 together, like so. And once those guys start making their way over, at least for this mission, then I'll make another donkey once I get the amount of gold I need. That'll bring us to 4. And just like any other RTS, you don't want to send guys out on their own. You can use Q and E to jump back and forth real quickly if you need to. between areas that you can actually see in the Fog of War. So, good thing to know. You're just using the arrow, the WASD keys rather, to actually go back and forth along the field here. Let's get our donkey in. And we're about to hit 300. We'll get another 2 guys over there. There we go. Send those guys. I don't have enough for a spell or anything yet, so I can't heal that guy. But as you can see, like, I'm already moving in on this guy pretty quick. So this is a very easy mission. And I'm allowed to say that because normally RTS missions are not so simple for me. Send 2 more out. Obviously, the name of the game is to cut off their resources, so take out those girls that are getting gold as quickly as possible. And of course, you want your donkeys to go pick up stuff when you have the chance too. Okay, he's down. He's down. Put 2 of those guys out together. See what happens here. More. Those guys are just really doing damage to my axe swingers there. Here comes some gold that's being dropped. I might be able to send one of my donkeys out to go grab that. Alright, they're making it through. I think we're going to be okay here. So look, we're getting a fat stack of stuff right here. Let's grab this. And let's see, 240. We'll make 2 more axe throwers here.
This is my axe and this is my beer. This is for fighting. This is for...
There we go. Donkey picks it up. Bring it on back, donkey. Bring it on back. Alright, what do we got for gold? We can upgrade something else. We should get our healing spell because that will be important here in a second. If I can heal this guy. There we go. Now if I can keep healing, then we're going to be just fine. Because I can just keep sending dudes over. And they won't have the gold to keep up. Which is the name of the game. This game, because of its art style, really reminds me of Warcraft. Not only because it's a fantasy game, but also because it's got that colorful look to it. The spells and everything remind me of Warcraft quite a bit too. I remember Warcraft 2 playing it online and just getting decimated. Never great RTS games online. I'm just not cut out for the strategy, I guess. But yeah, I remember just getting pummeled by ogres when someone was able to race, you know, their tech tree up faster than me. There we go. We took him out. But yeah, I loved Warcraft, but man, did I get my ass beat playing that game back when I was younger. So there we go. We took out Greasebeard. That is a victory. And, oh my god, look at that. We were 2 seconds away from the second medal, so things to strive for if you're into this game. But that is basically the game. I mean, if you are into the 2D RTS type of feel, that is what this game offers, and it's pretty cool. We do have under custom game. You could play locally against somebody, you know, I guess on land, if that's the case. You can also play AI anytime you want to. So if you can't find an online game, you can play against the computer anytime you want. Should also mention that this game runs smooth as butter. If you have a machine that may not be super beefy and you're looking for a new game, a new RTS, and all the new RTSs that come out are 3D based and everything, this might be a game to look for too, because this game just runs perfect for me on my machine. And it's just like, no matter what I have running in the background, whatever's going on my second monitor over here, this thing just runs perfect. But what we're gonna do before we leave here is we're gonna check out the mini games here. So they call them challenges, but they're basically mini games. They remind me of like 90s Windows 95, like, you know, fun little mini game things going on here. So you have a game with Larry here, and what happens here is you play as Larry, and he runs out, and your object here is to keep punching these other Vikings as much as you can. Try to avoid the sheep if you can, because the sheeps will take your score down. And the more you hit all these guys, the more you keep them up in the air, the bigger your score is going to be. And you want to try to get like a really high score by the time you get to the end, because then you can go through again and try to get another really high score. So keep hitting those sheep though. It's not really helping me out. There we go. We hit 9,700. So I think you got to hit 10K to actually be able to get another round. I've done it once. You can actually see, let's see, where am I? Here we go, RC. I'm at 299, place 299. So not great, but not terrible. All right, let's try this one more time. This music, I swear. That's one of the fun things about this game, though, is like you can tell the developers have a lot of fun with this series, and they do not take what they're doing seriously at all. Like everything is a joke, almost to the point where, like, you know, you could tell it's very silly, like Monty Python style at times. And at times you just kind of like roll your eyes and shake your head like, oh my god, I can't believe this is like in this game right now. It's really silly. There we go, 10,000 points reached, extra round. So here we go, second round. Now you get to run through. My score is not working out here because they keep hitting the sheep. There we go, there's some guys there. One of the medals to get on this one actually is to get over 50,000, and I have not even come close to that. But hopefully I can at least beat my old score with this. Seems to be going okay. 2590, let's see if that moved us up a place or two. So I think that's about where I was before, but let's see. All right, nope, still 299. So actually, I reached 27,900 last time, so we have a little bit of practice to go with that one. Let's play the last minigame here. This is Matt the Demon. He sprays this big lava thing all over the place, and what you're trying to do is just defend Fluffy in the middle. So these are, what's cool about this, these are minigames, but they're both abilities that you have in the main game. Alright, so what you're trying to do here is just spray these lava things, destroy these creatures that are trying to destroy Fluffy the sheep in the middle there. I actually did much better on this one than I did with the Larry one. I don't remember what my score was. We'll see it after we play it here. You can actually shoot as much as you want here, though. But if you do that, then you won't get the multiplayer, you won't get the points. And the enemies do get noticeably harder pretty quickly, and your little pentagram thing that moves around there starts to get very, very fast as well. There you go. Now we're starting to get the points. We got a multiplayer of 10. And I've gotten 2 of the medals on this one already as well. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to break the 200K mark on this one. Now, if you get really good, you can get it to where the circle is bouncing off one side, and you can hit it twice on the one side if need be. As long as you're hitting an enemy, you keep your multiplier up. Destroy! Yeah, one of these big orc guys. These guys are in the main game as well, and they are pretty powerful. That guy really wants to get a piece of Fluffy. Boom! Destroy! Take out! Oh, we got skeletons. Just a little bit more and that orc is gone. There he is. 10,000 bonus. Can't be sad about that, right? Man, we're getting a lot of enemies to hit here. This is pretty nice. Oh, I lost my multiplier. That is not good. Lost it again. Thought the enemies were on screen, but apparently they weren't on screen yet. That's the thing, is you want to try to be patient here too, because the enemies... Oh, that was a miss too. The enemies will always be there coming. Oh, and I hit Fluffy right in the middle. If you use your ability in the middle and hit Fluffy, you're done. But those enemies will keep coming regardless, and you can wait as long as you want. Your multiplier will never tick down. But yeah, you can see the other medal you got to get is a bonus to get to 200,000 points. You can see that I placed 40 on this one, so I've done much better. So I feel like, yeah, if I play this one again, I could probably hit the 200,000 mark and get that third medal there. But yeah, there you go, guys. That pretty much sums up Swords and Soldiers 2. Like I said, there is an online component, but I have been unsuccessful actually getting into an online game. But regardless, the campaign is fun. I thought the mini games were a nice little touch there. I like the humor, I like the art and everything, and it's actually a pretty fun 2D RTS game, so I definitely recommend checking it out. GG, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.
GRC.